What is going on, you guys? My name is Rage and we are back today with a raid roster overview video. So just for reference, I wanted to give you guys a little bit of context here, but with Doom 2 coming and the upcoming new patch, it's really important to really focus on powerful characters that are going to provide amazing value for in the late game, but as well as what's working for me. So just for some context, this is my All-Spark Heroes Alliance right now. As you can see, the rating 1405 to the top left. Some of our best players, as you can see, ranking 15, 14, 13 plus in collection power. And now I gotta show you where I rank. I am actually the underdog in my alliance here at 7.6. So I always do try to be a little bit more active, really try to put in my part. But I want to show you guys here how much I can contribute, even despite having only 50% of the total collection power of one of our strongest on our team being Tyrius. So this really is an overview video of my roster, who I use in my Doom raids, as well as my regular raids, but as well, hopefully this video is able to give you some insight on the characters that you can feel free to invest in, because you know that they're going to provide value in the late game. So you know what, I gotta show you guys proof, so that way I have a little bit of validity to what I'm going to say as well, right? So if I just jump into alpha raids, you can see that my ranking here, I am usually in the top 10 for this. We generally hit 100% for alpha raids for difficulty 3. So that's where I'm sitting right now. So you can see that I do still provide value even despite having that collection power. Mainly for me, I have very powerful Infinity Watch characters and they really push me through alpha raids. Next, Doom. For this one, difficulty 1 is what we're aiming for, and generally we can hit about 60% consistently now, so I'm very proud of our alliance to do that. And as you can see here, again, I do try to contribute as much as I can. Generally, I am also in the top 10 as well. Right now, I just got lucky in the sense that you can see I've done the most damage as of right now, the time of recording, but generally I end up anywhere between, I would say, 6 to number 10, just because some of these guys really pull in their weight, and again, we hit usually about 60%. So very proud of our alliance getting ready for Doom 2 with the upcoming patch. That being said, that's really for context. Now I can dive into my roster here. So starting off, especially for the Doom raids, it's grouped into the different categories in case you guys are not aware. So there's tech, there's mystic, there's bio, and then there's mutants and skill. So really it's going to be dependent upon where you're placed in those raids and the lanes that you take on, but generally you will have to go through those different lanes with the specific characters. So starting off here with tech, for me, Infinity Watch has been such a big investment for me. And Nebula, despite her not having her Infinity Watch roster in the tech side, the fact that she still has assisted attacks really helps me, and her ISO 8, especially having the skirmisher there, being able to provide value in terms of applying vulnerability. So that's really big. It's provided a lot of dividends. I would recommend her. I'm not sure how much longer the Infinity Watch will stay, in the top of the meta here, but we still, I think, 6 months time, I still think they will be relevant. So I would recommend investing in the Infinity Watch if you can. Minerva, only reason she's powerful as the way she is now is because of the fact that I used her in Dark Dimension 4. She's got that handy revive. I absolutely love the fact that she has good sustain, and so far she's been useful for me in tech, so I would recommend her, especially if you guys are using her in Dark Dimension. Next, I do have Dr. Doom here, pivotal piece. Really key reason is the fact that he's used in tech, he's used in mystic. I mean, he can be used in 2 different components of the Doom raids, and that's something to be mindful of. You really want to take advantage of characters that can have those multi-stat traits that really you can invest in them freely, as well as being able to know that they're going to pay dividends in the long term. Dr. Doom, the fact that he has that really powerful heal, he does immense damage when he has all those clones around him, so would 100% recommend. Obviously, the caveat is going through Dark Dimension 4, the struggle of beating that and getting through it as well. So that, at least in itself, is worth the challenge. And I must say, he's been one of the best characters I've used in the game right now. Kestrel, I hope there's a better chance to farm her other than the premium orbs, but you bet I want to boost her up as high as you can. I really wish I kind of took more of the campaign farming for her shards, but you can see here I've leveled up everything for her. But Kestrel, another similar character to Dr. Doom in the sense that she can be used in 2 different areas, both being tech and skill. So I love that fact. You can use her in multi facets of the game. Obviously she's powerful in all game modes, but especially for the raids, I would recommend her 100% just due to how powerful she is, and she's very tanky despite her being highly offensively focused. And then last but not least for me, Dr. Octopus provided a lot of value for me in Dark Dimension, but I use him as well in Doom Raids because he can summon an ally character to soak up damage. He's got that extension with his ultimate. Overall, I think Dr. Octopus is a great character and I would recommend him, but at this time right now, I don't know if he's worth pushing as high as possible, especially now with the changing metas and whatnot, but I can get the job done right now given where he is. So that really is the main 5 characters I use right now for my tech roster. Next, let's take a look at the Mystic roster here. And you can see Dr. Doom, as I mentioned earlier before, given how powerful he is, I'm glad he's multi-stat in the fact that he can actually be used in other areas. So this includes Mystic. And for him, his power and synergy only grows more with a character such as Deathpool. I am currently in the process of bringing her as high as possible right now because of the fact that she just gives so much energy. She strips away positive buffs from the enemies when the enemies fall. And the fact that she just has great damage in that one-shot KO when you build to 5 charges. So Deathpool gives energy to Dr. Doom, and that furthers Dr. Doom's power and his overall capability and synergy, especially bringing those clones. And his heal and offensive capability is absolutely astronomical. Next, we have Adam Warlock. Again, touching bases with the Infinity Watch here. A team that every player is right now pushing to the absolute max because of the fact of how much value they're providing in the game. He's got a stun, he's got an ability block, and a natural revive even without his Infinity Watch fellow allies. So this is a character where he's definitely one of the most powerful legendaries in the game right now because even without the Infinity Watch, him alone, his kit overall is very strong. So I would recommend if you guys can unlock him, great chance right now, you know, in the fact that especially he can provide a lot of value as a legendary character, can be used in Dark Dimension, and as well the Doom Raids I would recommend. He's actually the second character next to Deathpool that I am providing energy to, just to be able to have those constant stuns and ability blocks, which is absolutely amazing as a support character overall. Next, furthering my support in the Mystic nodes is actually Ebony Maw. And he's built up the way he is because of the fact that the Black Order used to be the top meta in the game. But that aside, even with them, you know, being continually weaker and weaker now in the game, Ebony Maw's kit overall is still very strong. He's got that passive where the enemy hero controllers fall, and he's actually able to grant barrier and an ability block. The fact that he's got defense up, offense down, as well as his ultimate being able to scale with enemy health percentage. So that in itself is already strong overall. And again, he was actually one of my main characters that I used for Dark Dimension 3 and Dark Dimension 4. So I would highly, highly recommend him. He's a great character overall, despite the fact that his team is not the best in the game anymore. And then lastly, for the 5th character, I generally actually do a crossover between both Hela and Silver Surfer. So a couple of things. They operate similarly, but in different ways. For Hela, if I synergize her with Adam Warlock, she can spread the ability block, which is absolutely beautiful with her ultimate. Greg soaks up damage. The fact that she has disruption is nice. So when she falls, I do take turns with her, as well as in conjunction with Silver Surfer. Silver Surfer, similar. He's got disruption, he's got an ability block, he can strip away charges, and overall he's a very strong character. The only caveat on Silver Surfer is that not many players may have shards for him, just due to the fact that you can only unlock those through really heavy alliance being involved in raids. So that really is, in essence, my main Mystic roster. It's able to get me through all the way to the end of the boss nodes. Next up is Mutants, and without a doubt, I would say my Mutants is where I'm struggling the most right now. I definitely have amazing Alliance members that carry the weight for those nodes following that specifically require Mutant, but generally I can get through about 1.5 out of the 3 nodes. So really a big one for me was Phoenix. The fact that, you know, she has that scaling damage when she turns into Dark Phoenix. She can strip away positive buffs. She has immense offensive capabilities, but obviously it's getting to the point where she is Dark Phoenix and getting her turn to actually use those abilities. So I would recommend Phoenix. Again, she was used really heavily for my Dark Dimension, so that's why she's built the way she is. Next, we got Jubilee here actually. With the Astonishing X-Men being a top meta in the game, this is a meta where I do need to strongly build up for their team because I think her team is definitely one of the best for raids. It's only her that's built up because of the fact that I used her in Dark Dimension. She's got a handy stun. She synergizes well with her blinds to reduce damage. Overall, a great character, and I would recommend if you guys get a chance to unlock her as well. Don't forget, she's actually used as part of the Adam Warlock legendary unlock. So definitely she has a place cemented in the game because of that. Next, a very popular character is Mr. Sinister. The opportunity to actually clone enemies, to be able to pivot. He's got a handy heal. Not enough things can be said about Mr. Sinister. He's definitely, if in Dark Dimension 4 and Dark Dimension 3, one of the MVPs of the game in being able to really allow players to duplicate an army, and that really can push through nodes, especially if you're trying to one-shot them. Synergizing with Mr. Sinister, it is Emma Frost, and I love Emma Frost because of her defensive capabilities. She's got a blind, strip away negative conditions on her allies, and that's really huge and phenomenal. Unfortunately, she just doesn't have as much damage as I would like. And then last but not least, generally I actually synergize the rest of the 4 then with either Beast here or Bishop. But with Beast, I like the fact that he has a cleanse. He's got his ultimate here that actually provides a boatload of buffs for our mutants, so that's really nice to have. And just the fact that he grants energy as well. So that's generally my main 5 that gets me through about a node and a half. Obviously, this is the working progress right now for my roster. I definitely can improve these guys, especially for mutants. Next, for the bio nodes, as you guys may have guessed, it is going to be the standard 5 symbiotes that I generally use. And I do feel like right now, because of the fact that we have Cloak and Dagger coming into the game, they may not be used as much in Dark Dimension, but I think a lot of players are still likely using the symbiotes as the main bio roster. The only caveat here I would like to bring up is Phyla-Vell, because she's going to be naturally strong if you have a strong Infinity Watch, and generally I do slot her in every now and then if I just need her to soak up damage or to have multiple attempts. But these are the main 5 that I would recommend, but unfortunately, like I said, I feel like their place in the game right now is shifting, especially with new characters coming out, and we'll see what happens with them. But for sure, they're definitely still one of the most powerful teams in terms of city characters being involved in Dark Dimension, but as well as the bio usages for raids when it's required. Last but not least, working on the skill roster as well, similar to my mutants, but many of these characters that you're going to see higher up I have talked about. So Kestrel, we've mentioned already previously, just given how powerful she is as a character. Gamora is going to be naturally powerful because of the fact that if you have a strong Infinity Watch, she'll be likely one of your strongest characters. Providing support for me is actually Nick Fury. I am trying to bring him out now, especially now seeing that the unlock for Omega Red is going to involve him. So I'm bringing him up slowly but surely, just really trying to rack in those high roller milestones. Nick Fury is nice because he has a lot of supportive buffs for the team, and he can also summon minions to soak up damage. Lastly, to combine this roster, I do use Proxima Midnight for a handy stun. She's got offense down. Again, she's powerful because of the Black Order, but I definitely feel that her place in the game is slipping, especially where the meta is going right now. But if you guys have her built up, this is who I'm using for my raids, and she's still been effective to buy a little bit of time with her stun and offense down. Synergizing them, again, is the Infinity Watch related meta, being Moondragon here. I love the fact that she has a lot of heals for the team. She's got a lot of supportive capabilities. She synergizes with the Infinity Watch, and naturally she will be pretty powerful if you guys have Infinity Watch naturally brought up. So really, guys, that in essence is my team overall that I use for the different trait classifications of Doom. So hopefully this is able to give you some insight in terms of characters to build. Obviously right now I am working on the Secret Avengers as well for the skill traded characters, but that's slowly but surely coming into works right now. So I do appreciate you guys checking out my videos. Hope this is able to provide some insight. Thank you as always, and I'll see you in the next one.